Welcome to ADS platform. Today I'll be talking to Professor D K Giri about the elections that is going to be held tomorrow in Britain. Professor Giri, as you have studied in England and have done your PhD on the British Labour Party, so what do you think will happen tomorrow to the British Labour Party?
Right. Well, British Labour Party. Yes, I lived in England and I did my studies on British Labour Party. Britain is a bi-party system, although there is a third party called Lib Dems. These two parties are contesting for power, and as per the opinion polls, Britain is leading by a big margin, about 20% ahead of the Conservatives. So it is expected that British Labour Party will seize power from the Conservatives. They have lost 4 elections consecutively to the Tories. So it is most likely that they will win the elections tomorrow. Although once in Britain the poll predictions went horribly wrong. Usually the poll are correct in Western the world, particularly in Britain. But I remember one election, I think it was 1997, where all forecasts went wrong. So we'll see. It is a one-day poll in Britain, and by all accounts, unless something goes badly for British Labour Party, they should form the government tomorrow.
For India, is the Labour Party or the Conservatives better?
Well, the foreign policy of any country is a bipartisan or consensus approach. So it is the same for Britain as well. They have to reflect their national interest, whichever party comes to power. But British Labour Party had lost the support of the Indian community there. It's a big Indian diaspora, about 1.8 million. And their previous leader, before Keir Starmer, who is the leader in Labour Party now, British Indians were alienated from the British Labour Party. But Keir Starmer is a middle of the ground person, and he has, I think, regained the confidence of Indian politicians here and the Indian community in Britain. So if Labour Party wins, it would be good for India. And in their manifesto, they have promised that they will complete the free trade agreement with India, which has started in 2022, but the negotiations were stalled, particularly the 14th round, because of elections, long drawn elections in India, and the campaigning in Britain as well. Although it is one day poll in Britain, but the campaigning goes on for weeks. So that is why the negotiations were stalled, but they'll resume. And both parties have promised that they will complete the FTA process. And British Labour Party has gone a step forward by saying that Conservatives dragged it, but we will complete it and move on. And not only the FTA, they will also sign, they have indicated, sign a strategic agreement with India. So it looks good from both the parties, because Britain would like to expand their business contacts with other countries, particularly after they exited European Union. So there is also a history of British Labour Party being the, in a sense, a liberator of India. So I would put my money on British Labour Party, but as I said, it could be either of the party and it will be good for India.
My last question would be that how should India formulate its strategy towards British after the elections?
Right. So yes, while we have our sympathy for people of Indian origin, it is the country that we should build our bilateral relationship with. Indian External Affairs Ministry will keep the issues that were debated, particularly related to India, in the election, and try to work on these issues, like the visa for Indians, people who are going to work there, because that will help India relocate its huge population, and people go out to work, they will bring money, and that is good for our foreign currency. So all that is good, and Britain, because of our long historical link of hundreds of years, our relationship with Britain should be good because we are perceived as um, as a friend of Britain in the new Commonwealth. So we should keep that in mind. Although India is making contact with other European Union countries like France, we have a close relationship with France, but our traditional historical ties with Britain should be maintained. And our political system, our administrative apparatus, our army, our educational institutions, although we are trying to change it, Indianize them, they still follow the British pattern. So there is so much in common between the two countries. And students going for foreign education, higher education, their preferred destination also is Britain. So from many accounts, the close relations with Britain is in order, and we should keep that in mind. And Indian government, whichever party comes to power day after tomorrow in Britain, should keep that in mind, that our ties with Britain, historical and very close, should be maintained without much bickering, and it should really grow from strength to strength in mutual interest. That's what Britain wants, and that's what India should reciprocate their sentiments as well.
Thank you, Professor D K Giri.
Thank you.